We're here in one of the most beautiful parts of Canada, Miramichi, New Brunswick. Not that we can see much of it today, the weather being what it is. I'm here to interview Kelly Jacques, Director of IT for School District 16. Kelly, can you tell us a little bit about School District 16 here in New Brunswick?
We have 6,000 students approximately, roughly 1,000 employees. We deal mostly with the educators, and that would be somewhere around 600 employees. We have 4,000 systems approximately. We have probably one of the most advanced districts technology-wise in the province. Basically manage our equipment through this Computers for Schools program on TM4s. Started standardizing the high schools on Windows 7, and all schools have Office 2007. We try to stay as current as we possibly can.
So I understand you've recently undertaken a network infrastructure upgrade. What were the issues that caused you to do this?
Basically, we wanted more bandwidth. We were happy with the switches we had before. We were running D-Link 3624 managed switches. They were a 10100 switch. We had very little trouble with them. We ran them really to end of life. There were some of them were 8 or 10 years old. We wanted to go with something faster because we do a lot of rapid deployment here. We were looking at gigabit. We were absolutely sure we wanted to go with gigabit ports to the desktop, and I wanted to take advantage of the fiber that we had in the schools. So we bought the D-Link X stacks. Really like the idea of having redundant access to the switches. So I mean, one switch fails, it doesn't take the network down. I contacted the folks at D-Link and started discussing the switches and that might solve our problem. And so we went with the D-Link 3426s and 3427X stack. It gave us that redundant access, gave us things like IGMP snooping, which was very useful when we're pushing images across the school for multicasting. Really find the switch easy to deal with. I mean, putting them in place was basically a matter of reading a few pages of the manual and getting started. It was a basic setup. The redundant access at the back was easy to get put in place. The switches recognized new modules immediately with no problem at all. And we brought in the fiber modules to access our backbone. It was the same thing. Popped the module in, it recognized it right away and away.
What are some of the other benefits that come with the D-Link switches?
You know, my desktop here, it's really nice to be able to just browse to the IP address of the master switch and be able to see the whole stack. We've got 14 switches, I think, in each stack at the high school up the road. And basically anything we need to do or change configuration, whatever, is right there at our fingertips, and it's a single stack, single access, just easy to work with. So the D-Link X stack has a series of cables at the back. They're all 10 gigabit cables. One is a fiber uplink to our data center at the library. The balance of them actually do an X pattern across the back of the switches, so that if one of these switches fails, it's receiving its requests coming down this way. But if a switch in the middle fails, it'll actually take that X path down and come up from underneath and access the requests from bottom and top, and only the one switch that's causing the problem will have failure on it. The balance of the network doesn't notice it.
Cool things are going on in schools makes me almost wish I was back there myself. In much the same way as all businesses need to deliver maximum value with constrained resources, School District 16 is working hard to prepare students for the future. And it all starts with the right infrastructure.